Look at that double cooper. Yeah.
Twinsies.
Got the twins.
Good ones.
It's funny. There's only a couple down there.
It's best. It's really good.
It's like chicken. Start cooking fish. No telling what kind of people show up. They just come out of everywhere. Like daggum gnats, man. Hey guys, welcome back to In It for the Limit Fishing. In this episode, we're gonna do a catch, clean, and cook while camping. We're going to be spending the week at Lotterdale Cove Campground in East Tennessee on Tellico Lake. We have a site that is right on the lake, so it's going to be perfect for a catch and cook. It's our first time visit there. I do have some friends that camp seasonally there, so we're familiar with the campground, but we've never been there before. It's a nice little place, beautiful scenery, well maintained. So if you're ever this way in East Tennessee, it's a good place to stop by. There's quite a bit to do in this area around Vonore. So we're probably going to visit Sequoia Museum and birthplace. Fort Loudon is there, which is what Fort Loudon Lake gets its name from. We're going to visit the actual fort probably. And there's a couple farms, a strawberry farm. Benton's Bacon is right down the road. We might stop there and try to pick up some bacon. And there's plenty of little places in the area. There's a couple of cemeteries here too, which I've actually never been to, even though I'm familiar with this area. I fish here all the time. I've actually never been to the cemeteries here. And we love old cemeteries, so we're going to go visit that too. And so spend a whole week of doing other things than just fishing. But in this episode, hopefully we'll get enough fish to do a little bitty camp and cookout with the whole family and some friends that might stop by. All right, guys, let's get to it. You want to reel this one in? Another small one.
It was nice to go to It comes into two right here. Hey, you splashed me with water. You caught a baby fish.
Another baby. Alright guys, I wanted to include this clip so that you can see what we are fishing and how we're finding this cover. If you look on the graph here, you can see that we are fishing standing trees, and this is all natural cover. Tellico is filled with natural cover, and this is just things that are left over from when they flooded the lake. And so whether this technique is going to work for you or not is going to depend on a few things. It's going to depend on the age of the lake, how much current it gets, and how much traffic that the lake gets with boats throwing wake and things. Over time, what happens is these trees get waterlogged, especially the larger ones, and they will fall over with time and eventually disintegrate, get covered up by just sediment from the bottom of the lake. Now, Tellico is 42 years old. If you compare that to a lake like Fort Loudon, even though it's attached, it's about 80 years old. And you don't find as much standing cover in Fort Loudon as you do Tellico. So what we do on a lake like Tellico, that's a younger lake, younger being relative here, is we will scan the creek channels. And we will look on the flats along those submerged creek beds and that's where you'll find a lot of these trees, and they'll be lined up along those creek beds. That's the easiest way to find standing cover in a lake like this. And if you think about it, that's where trees would have naturally grown before this lake was flooded. Now, you don't have to have a live scope for this. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier using that forward view to find that vertical structure. You can actually use down imaging and 2D imaging. Now, you can use side imaging. However, even with the trained eye, it's a little bit harder to see. The catch with using down imaging and 2D imaging is that you have to go directly over that cover. Now, if you don't have a graph, don't worry, you can actually troll, and that is what I used to do. Up until 5 years ago, the graph that I had on my boat just told me depth and water temperature. And for the past 5 years, I've had down imaging, and just a few months ago, I got Livescope. So before all this, what I would do is just simply troll these creek beds. And nowadays, you don't even have to have a graph to do the trolling. You can download a Navionics map or other topographical map on your phone and find those creek beds and track your boat with GPS as you are trawling through there. So even in a John boat without any graphs, you can do this technique. Did you?
Hey, you slapped me, sis. That's a big one.
It is a
We're
bigger
gonna
one.
keep it.
Yep. You can fry it up later.
Daddy, you get 1 minute. I'm trying to get this 1 minute. It's still on it. The minute's still alive, but I can't.
There we go. There we go, Allie. Bonk, bonk.
Oh, yeah, you got out.
Allie,
Yes,
I might need another minnow.
I got one just right here.
Do you? What do you think about that one?
Oh, that's
A ginormous guy. He's every bit of
This is a ginormous guy, too.
almost 13 inches.
Here you go, Daddy. Here you go.
There we go. Back to back. Goodness. This one's got a little.
Here you go.
It's got a big toot in there. Wow, that's interesting. Throw him back, he's got a little bit of spot on him. He is a 13. Alright, buddy. Put you back. Put you back. Get one good measurement. Right under 13. 12 and 7/8. There we go. Thought I felt something. Oh, that's pretty good. Side hook. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. She's spewing eggs. Looks like she might have one.
Okay? Oh my god. Good, Daddy?
That's 6 keepers. Throw this one back. Alright, so here's our site from the lake. This is site number 35 at Lotterdale Cove Campground. And the nice thing about camping right on the water is that people can jump on and off the boat pretty easily. There's a dock just right next to us. And so you'll see my parents join us here in a little bit in a minute. You'll see Allie and Evie both on the boat at different times. And then Tyler joins us a little later.
Can I take it off the
Yeah, swing it up here, Dad. Let Evie get it and show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful, you're gonna get hooked. Got it? That one's too small.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of that bush,
Yeah. Sometimes you can get, like Mom did. There'll be a big one hiding in there. You can't see it. Those little bitty ones will get it first. There you go. Watch your finger.
Yeah.
Twirling.
Oh, need to mark it. Mom's and mine and your dad's at 17, but we got 6 in the. I think we have 6 in the thing.
Yeah, I got that
one. These little bitty ones. $20 fish right there. Not all keepers though. Y'all still working on that?
We're both working together. We're working together.
Work together. I know. One of you's twisting one way, one of you's twisting the other.
Thought I had it, and I just went around with it. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Okay, let's see if I can.
You sure I don't want to fish?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
These are little. There's a bunch of them. That one's still colored up to spawn.
No, I didn't do nothing. I just hold it.
That's with me.
Hold it.
Good one right there. Yeah, there we go.
Good, that's nice.
Hurry up, darling.
Yes, 3 in a row.
Well, I have to put minnows on there one day and drop them down together.
And take your time. I'm having a good time. Y'all look busy. I'll just put this in there myself. You see yourself right there? Just hold it there. Got it? Got him. Reel it in, reel it in. You got him. I see him. That's a good one. Don't let me get out of your way. It's a good one. Bring him up here. 12 or 13. That's another 13 incher.
Awesome, man.
Look at that. But see, all those marks are about the same size, so it's a good one.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta drop it like they like it freshly dropped. Like you gotta just drop it and, you know what I mean? Like come back to it. Like that right there. See, I just dropped it right on his head and they hit it. A little bitty one. Why you get the big ones? I get the little ones. That ain't fair. It's not fair. Two blips here. Wow, see the fish have been spooked off. That's the other nice thing about this is you can tell when you're wasting time, like when the fish leave.
Yeah.
Like it's, got it? All right. Just sitting in there. He got your top one.
You got me.
I got Dawn.
Hold on.
Oh, I got you, Dawn.
You sure you got him or I got him?
You got him. Not
Oh.
me.
Let me get the fish off. He's on Mom's line. Dad gets half credit though, right?
It's not a keeper anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how we hang again?
That happens a lot with using this because you're not watching your line. You're watching underneath the water. And it's just gonna happen. Me and Shannon and Tyler do it all the time. Like, constantly. A lot of fish right there. They don't look big though. I wish I could find a school of just big old fish.
Oh, I got something bite. Oh, look at that.
Could be because they're small. That one, he committed.
Got a big bite.
I'm also, well, I'm not keep. I'm also jigging it a little bit, Dad. I notice sometimes that'll be the difference between catching a couple and a lot. He looks a little small. Quit it. He's just 9 inches. I'll click him though. 26 fish today. Let's get that camera out. Let's see how big it is first. I say it's 13. Right under 13. 12, 7 eighths. Got it?
I got mine.
Yeah, I see it hung on that limb. Here. Oh, wait. You might have a fish on. Let me see your rod. You got a fish on. He's got you around the limb, but there's a fish on it. See him moving? Like he's hung. Yeah. Yeah, here. Real low.
Oh, I got
Yeah. See? Sometimes when you get hung up like that, you can just let it loose. And you can, that top hook is what gets hung, I think. And it'll swim it out, usually.
Look like that.
No, he's not. I can tell he's not nonsense. I need to do 2 clicks, so. Can you see yourself down there, Dad? Oh, there you are. See ya. Double keeper. Yeah.
Twinsies.
Got the twins.
Good ones.
It's funny. There's only a couple down there. Let's see. Looks like almost 12, right at 12. Good catch.
No drop flop. No drop flop.
Hold on, we gotta take a picture for Shannon too. Sure. Donkeys, here we go. Donk.
Good ones.
Nicer ones.
Good ones. I'll take them all day.
Yeah. Oh, daggum wind. Got him. Oh, I like it when you clear those little ones out for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's not typical for this time of year.
So it's like right. Or how's that? How's that for nailing it on the head?
Ooh.
I was gonna say I think he has it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel it anymore.
Oh, that's
Look at that. Look at that sucker.
That's cool.
What are you all coded up for, you little boy? You don't even know how to. You don't even know what you're doing. He is all tuxedoed out. Another nice one. Donkey.
All right, guys. So this on this trip we caught probably about 60 crappie total, and that's out of 2 or 3 days of fishing, or about a day and a half total's worth of fishing. And about 30 of those, I believe 28 to be exact, were keepers, but we only kept 10 of these for the frying pan. And we're gonna clean these up right on the bank. I do like these fillet tables. If you ever have, I got this off Amazon. The nice thing about it is the height. It's a little bit higher, so it makes it a little bit easier to fillet. The Bubba knife is, it's a newer knife. I've used it before, you might have seen it, but one of the reasons I got the lithium ion, the cordless version, is because of this right here. So you can go camping, don't have to worry about having power hookup, or if you're cleaning it out on the boat. So we're just going to clean these fillets up right here. This isn't a fillet video, but it's a pretty simple process. You just cut through all the way down the side, following the backbone, and then just pop it off the skin. You can see there are some eggs here. Some of these were still has some eggs in them. You saw some of those males that were colored up a little bit. So these fish are we're still in that end of the spawning season. What we did is we followed these creek beds, the creek channels, all the way to the back of the coves, and then started coming out and looking for fish, because these fish are moving back out. Now, most of what we fished was 20 foot of water, so a lot of these fish were starting to pull back out after the spawn, but as you can see, some of these fish still had some eggs in them, even though they dropped a lot. I do like to, what we're doing here is cutting the ribs out, by the way. I do like to make sure I get all the blood off of it. It was real nice using the water hose here, because it sprays the blood and things off the fish really good. To me, the key to having that fresh, non-fishy taste on your fillets is keeping the fish alive as long as possible. If you're not going to keep it alive, you need to keep it cold. And so we're just going to throw these in the bag and throw it into the refrigerator until we're ready to fry. It's a simple fry. We're doing cornmeal and mustard. We're using the mustard as a binder, which I do a lot. That vinegar, you don't really taste it. It just gives you that little vinegar. It's a good binder for the fillets. Of course, they're wet enough right here that you could just throw it straight in the cornmeal. You don't have to season your cornmeal. I usually use salt, pepper, nature seasoning, a chili, spices, some kind of chili, and anything else you want to throw in it. Garlic powder, onion. I like using mixed onion a lot, but you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. And so we're going to finish up cleaning these fillets, throw them in the refrigerator, and get them fried up on the skillet. We're just using a camp stove, a simple little bitty pot that I use a lot when I'm either out on the boat or out camping. So we're going to bag these up, throw them in the fridge, and get to frying.
Allie, put this in the refrigerator. Thank you. That's crappie, Allie.
Really good?
Yep, it's best. It's really good.
Tastes like chicken. Start cooking fish. No telling what kind of people show up. They just come out of everywhere. Like daggum gnats, man. A little mustard,
I'm
a
good.
little cornmeal.
Very much.
Alright guys, that's it for this episode. If you like what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, keep chasing that limit.